So what's plaguing us today, I think, as I look to create this all hands meeting, I'm always inspired by what's going on around us. And found this clip. There are many clips like this that I could, put up here. And I thought this one was one of the more relevant ones. Because we live in a time, folks, that right is wrong and wrong is right. Where up can sometimes seem down. What is truthful, what is not? And one thing I, hold my head high on is I try to decipher what is the reality of what's going on. And I try my best to cut through some of the noise. And I think truth right now is the highest premium. And I think companies, as well as countries, as well as families, as well as teams, I think the highest level that we can achieve it, if we achieve trust, and if we achieve transparency, and if we're real about what's actually happening, I think the world would be a slightly better place. Regardless of whether you sit on the right or on the left or in the middle, it's irregardless of that. I think we all, including Roma, can do better on being really clear as to what's happening. And I'll tell you, in this noisy world that we live in, and would you guys agree it's quite a noisy world? Show of hands. Yeah, appreciate it. It's very noisy, whether it's through social, through TV, through wherever you may be getting, consuming, media. It's a noisy world. And then I stumbled upon this quote. The truth does not change according to our ability to stomach it. And I think we're living in this world where we're not going to give you the whole truth because I'm not sure if you can handle it, holding people to the lowest regard. And I think at our company, we've been doing the polar opposite. We've been talking about exactly what's happening, why it's happening, why did we misstep, or why did we win, or how are we going to win, or what do we need to do different, how are we going to change. We accept the responsibility of failures. We'll put our hand up, that was me. I can't tell you how many meetings I'm in with team members that say, that was on me. And they course correct, but this is what we're going to do, or this is how we're going to change. And I just think if the world were like that, I just think what a world we'd live in. And then, I think proverbially it's a noisy world. And I think what's important, why we hold these all hands meetings is to get really quiet. And by the way, we shut down our entire company for 2 hours, right? What was it? 13 years ago, 14 years ago, it was unheard of that we were going to close our company for 2 hours, 3 times a year, every 125 days or so, to talk to each other, uninterrupted, with silence. And when we mean silence, with all the noise, we can have good meetings, but your phone will go off, or you'll get a call, or I've got this other meeting. This is an opportunity for us to just get really quiet and understand what's happening, and we get to share what we did, we get to share how it went, the trials and tribulations in between. We all know there's no straight line to success, and we celebrate our wins, and in many cases we course correct. But you can't do it without being silent. It's why people meditate, right? In this noisy world, people go off, they go into the forest, or they go into their room. It's a quiet spot, and they just center themselves. It's why every morning I get up and I pray. I pray in silence. It's just me and the Creator, whether it's giving grace or appreciating the challenges, which I call puzzles, giving the discernment to make decisions. Like, you need silence. And I just thought, what a better way to really just stop, get everybody really in the consciousness of, I want to share what we're doing, why we're doing it, and the exciting things we're doing. It's an exciting time, not a perfect time, but an exciting time. So while I'd love to sit here and say the road and the picture looks like this, and in some cases it does, but the reality is this is not life. Life looks a little bit more like this. And I love this photo, the juxtaposition of the photo, because think of your own life. It's not always sunny. There might be clouds, where there's mountains. Storms come in and out. There's a clearing really fast, but storms could come in due to the down pressure. There's always a turn, and you're not sure what's at the next turn. It's also an exciting journey, like as we go past that, like what's at the other side. I think that's the beauty of life, the surprise of life. I thank God we don't know exactly what the future holds. I think that would rob us from, the greatness that's upon us, right? And so it's kind of like how I look at life right now in our business. It's not perfect, although we strive for it. I'm super proud of every person in this company working really hard together simultaneously. I think more companies can emulate what we're doing. I think more countries can emulate what we're doing. Our own country can emulate what we're doing. For taking responsibility, course correcting, taking new actions, admitting fault. We just saw over the last 2 days ago, it was massive floods here in Toronto, and massive floods. And so, whether you like it or not, politicians will come out and they'll say, well, that's climate change. Not talking about, hey, maybe we failed in the infrastructure. No one's taking responsibility. They're blaming that thing out there, and that's cowardly. I don't care what side of the aisle you're from. I think we need to take responsibility. And as leaders, I think we owe that to the people we show up to serve. And at Roma, we'll talk about what, as leaders, we're doing to make this company greater and simultaneously making all our lives slightly better. So you guys know this is kind of how I look at life, right? And I try to tell my daughter and my son, life's not this perfect up-road trajectory, beautiful sunny days, birds chirping. It's not. There's going to be challenges. And they're learning. They're 8 and 4. So they're learning. They're learning in their own little accord, right? Oh, Daddy, I wanted this and I want that. Well, you can't get Nutella and a chocolate bar and whatever the heck else you want. You pick one, and it's only after dinner. We start small to really groom them, but this is the reality of life. And I can't wait to really dive into this all-hands meeting and share with you what we're doing as a result of this. Because this, is life in many regards. And I heard something the other day that said, every single person on the planet has a challenge they're struggling with. You might not be able to see it. Some you are. Like I come out of the gym one morning, it was actually Tuesday morning, came out of the gym feeling tired after a workout, but feeling good. It's that pain and feeling good. It's a weird feeling. So I'm coming out and going to my car, and then here's some guy who's probably not much older than me. He's probably 50-ish, and he's has his knapsack on or like baggy, and he's walking with a cane to go to his car. And I was thinking like, wow, how grateful it is to just be able to walk. Like that human, who knows what's going on in his life. But if we could stop and really just pay homage to understand that we're all living with challenges, and all companies are also living with challenges. Like we can overcome these. We could maybe put bridges. We could maybe put ropes. We could maybe get, and I think that's what's exciting about life. You don't want that, bicycle to have a straight line right to the top. Life would be boring, wouldn't it? They say all sunshine creates desert. Well, I just want it sunny. All right, well, then you'll have a desolate desert that doesn't grow anything. So as I stated, I want to just stop and pause and, acknowledge that life is hard out there. And I don't think they're being truthful to us. I don't think they're telling us the truth. It's hard. It's hard. People are questioning whether I buy blueberries or strawberries this week. Some families are debating, do I go to the food bank twice this week or once this week? Some people, even people that work at Roma, do I need a second and third job just to make ends meet? It's a real struggle. I know. I hear the stories. It's not easy for people. And the reality is, because it's not easy. Because here's some facts that I found. Just over the last 4 years, these are the numbers that have been presented. I do think they're understated to some degree. But the average house price is up over 28%. Average grocery bill, 20%. I don't want to do a poll on who believes that's BS, because I'll put my hand up. I think it's far higher than that. The average gas price is up to close to 30% in 4 years. healthcare costs, education costs, utility costs, and so on and so on and so on. And it has this world somewhat to its knees, and people questioning blueberries, strawberries. You know, up until the last few years, we never really had to make those decisions, but today we do. And it's not right. Now, having said that, that's just what's so, right? Now, we can all kind of go into our burrow, stick our head in the sand and die, or we can fight, or we can rise. And what I love about this Roosevelt quote, you guys know I love it. I've placed it in this all hands meeting a number of times. Smooth seas never made skilled sailors. And the adage is that every person, when the water is calm, can navigate or commandeer a boat. But when those waters become 20-foot swells, not every man or woman can navigate as skillful as they said they would when things are calm. And so the adage that good things happen to people who wait, and it's so true. This is true. When you can wait, because by the way, everybody wants to plant the tomato seed, and then they want to go next day and see if it sprouted a tomato. My daughter did that. For the first time, we planted some stuff, and she went the next day. Dad, where's the thing, Dad? I said, sweetheart, it takes, and explaining to them, and then after 3 days, she lost interest, and now as she sees the little flower come up, and she's once again excited. So there's something to be said about those who wait. If you're a Julius Caesar fan, he'll tell you how to conquer, how to posture. The posture is the wait. So if you're out there and interested in that, God bless you. But I think better things happen to those who wake up and take action. And folks, I think over the last 4 or 5 months, which is really the relevancy of this all hands meeting, we've taken massive action in various different parts of the business. I want to make this clear. 2024 hasn't been better than 2023 just because. It's actually worse economically. But for us, we've been planting the seeds, those tomato seeds. We've been planting all those strategies. We've been hiring on the right people. We've been, moving and shifting and becoming as agile as we can. And today we're sitting at a far better place than we have 6 months ago. So the year's 1992. Okay, that was Mary's computer. Is Mary here? Mary, is that your computer? Something like it, right? That was the computers in 1992. Sasha, I don't even think you were born. She wasn't even born. So for all our American friends watching, Toronto Blue Jays won the World Series. Yay, yes. Okay. 90210 was a big deal. Show of hands, who was watching 90210? Yep. Big deal. And the Corvette had that look to it, although I'm an earlier Corvette fan. And I graduated grade 8. Anastasia, no laughing. This is after a lot of coaxing. Melissa was really digging in the archives to find this photo. Like a week after I started shaving, I just did. But that was me, class of 1992. And why this is relevant for me is I want to give you a little story. In 1992, it was a graduation. I was graduating grade 8, going into grade 9. It's a rite of passage, as many of you would attest. We were leaving otherwise being the rulers of, I would call it, middle school, and then we were going to high school and starting at the bottom because we were going to be grade 9. And grade 9 was scary. Grade 9 was really scary, big school, didn't know everybody. It was kind of crazy to think about it. So we're at graduation, and we have like the gowns and stuff, and it was award time. They were giving out awards. And so they gave out the Valedictorian Award. Any valedictorians in here? Amazing. I didn't know. Brooke, well done. Let's give it up for Brooke. Valedictorian. I need to know more about that story. It's great. I wasn't. But then there's like the honor roll kids, Anybody on the honor roll win an award? Yeah, number of you, good. Michael, put your hand down. So all these kids, and I wasn't up there, right? And then they had these slightly different awards, can't remember them all. Best sportsmanship, or I don't know what it was. And then they came up and they said, and the award for perseverance. And I don't know, I was talking to my buddy next to me, I don't know what happened. And they said, the award for perseverance goes to Tony Guerreri. I'm like, who? Me? Because they didn't tell us, right? And I want to read this to you. Doing something despite, this is the definition, doing something despite difficulty or delay in achieving success. The ability to finish what you committed to regardless, this is so critical, regardless of the obstacles that stand in the way. Why aren't we teaching kids this definition every day? So to show you this, I'm going to get my props. So I played soccer all my life, and I got all these trophies, but I kept like one. But the only trophy I really kept is this one. It says Perseverance, St. Roch, that's where I went to school, 1992, Antonio Guerreri. I was like, damn. And then I went home because I didn't know the definition of perseverance. Because it's not like they read the definition. They got the definition for perseverance, and they handed me this. I'm like, all right, this is really cool. Until I went home, and I told my parents, hey, I won this award. I'm not sure they really knew what the definition was, but we looked it up, and here I am, 1992 to today, was that 20, 30? 32 years? And I still have it. Sometimes we think these things are insignificant. What does this cost to make? I mean, today is probably $1,000, but back then it was, didn't have much relevance, right? But by the way, not everybody got a trophy, and I think we got to bring that back as well. I think people are getting trophies in 10th place. I think that's really wrong. It's distorting realities for children. I think it's terribly wrong. It robs them from their ability to want to win and hoist trophies, right? So this whole notion of perseverance, and I'm playing it in my head specifically before this all hands meeting. And I was that, what are you in grade 8? 13? How old are you? 13-ish? 13. I had a stash on me. I was probably 90 pounds, I don't know, something like that. And I didn't really get the significance. But today, the significance for me rests every day. I put that in my bedroom, actually. It's on the wall. It's very important for me. It's very symbolic also for my children to never give up, no matter what obstacles are in the way. And I use that same adage to what we're up to today here at Roma. But I encourage you, I implore you, I want you to feel it in your core that whatever obstacle you're facing, because by the way, we're all facing something. You're not coming out of this world unscathed. You will get an obstacle. You will get punched in the face. But I hope this all hands meeting inspires you to say, in the face of that obstacle, I can overcome it. You can overcome it. And so I got this really cool video around perseverance that I hope inspires you.
We are a species of explorers, believers.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other thing, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
We are willing to do the hard things to overcome the many challenges. This is what brings out the best in us.
We go for a mission to the moon.
Our path has led to success and to bitter losses.
We come together today to mourn the loss of 7 brave Americans.
Yet, even when faced with tragedy and setbacks, we persevere. We keep striving. We keep believing. From space, we see our planet as a whole. We see the challenges facing it, and we face those challenges together. We will not give up. We challenge convention. We refuse to accept the status quo. The time at hand is hard, but we will persevere. We can still draw hope from the moon and the stars. from space, from exploration. There is a new day beyond the challenges we face now.
Curiosity, insight, spirit, opportunity. If you think about it, all of these names of past Mars rovers are qualities we possess as humans.
10, 9, we have ignition sequence start.
But if rovers are to be the qualities of us as a race, we missed the most important thing.
3, 2,
Perseverance.
launch commit, liftoff. We have liftoff.
We are a species of explorers. We will meet many obstacles on our way to Mars. But as humans, will not give up. We will always persevere.
I think it's so fitting that we shared this video of the space exploration, because it's a very inspiring video. It shows the many men and women who've come before us who've risked their entire life for space exploration, who are changing the course of our world, who are doing it selfishly to push and advance humanity. And in the video, I just keep listening to words. It's hard. It's not easy, but we will do it. And I come across this Winston Churchill quote, that with great challenge comes great opportunity. I think it's so eloquently said. Now, saying it from the stage is one thing, but when Winston Churchill said it, England was on their knees. They were being bombed by the Nazis. They were in bunkers. All of London was on fire. And he said, this is our opportunity to rise. Either we rise or we die. And I think as a species, I think as people, it's hard. It is. But it's always hard. It's always been hard. I think today is a bit more difficult, but it's always been hard. But I think the delta is our ability to overcome whatever those challenges are. And so someone who I admire immensely is Abraham Lincoln. You talk about inspiration, overcoming obstacles. He, born in early 1800s, lost his mom at a very young age. He had 4 children, I believe, and only one past 18 years old. He believed in a world where, regardless of your skin color, that we should abolish slavery in the United States. I mean, let's think about this. This is mid-18th century. Upon getting ridiculed, and I'm not even doing it justice. If you're ever into an incredible success story, Abraham Lincoln epitomizes that. Forget about what party or where he was. This is not political one bit. This is about a person's ability to overcome and to challenge the status quo, fight for what he believed, and then come out the other side. Unfortunately, he was assassinated shortly after his presidency in 1865, and but the legacy continues to live on. What he did through the Civil War helped pave the way for us and many others to be able to live in harmony with one another. I just think folks like this inspire me to think of the challenges we have. Another incredible human being, he was jailed for what he believed. For 27 years, jailed. Nelson Mandela jailed for 27 years. The government at the time gave him a plea bargain. We'll let you out if you denounce X. If you say this is not a problem, he says it's not happening. I believe in what I believe. I believe in a free South Africa. I believe in a free South Africa for all people, regardless of their race or their color. And they gave him a second plea bargain. If the first one wasn't good enough, they gave him a second one. And he said, no, I'm not interested. Served his whole term, 27 years in jail. That's a lot. When you say it fast, it's not a long time. Sasha, you're not even 27. It's your whole existence on this planet. I want it to sink in, because when someone believes at the core of what they're doing, they're willing to risk it all. They're willing to challenge comfort. He could easily said, all right, and came out and said, yeah, I believe all black people still should be slaves. Could have said it. Even though he didn't believe it, could have said it. Saved himself maybe 10 years, 10 Christmases, Thanksgivings, Christmas. But he didn't. He stood by his guns. He got a bachelor's degree while in jail. People don't get a bachelor's degree outside of jail. And then later became the first prime minister or president, forgive me, of South Africa. It's a pretty big deal. Why I'm sharing these, I'm sharing about people's will to adapt and change. You know, FedEx. Let's go to companies right now. So FedEx was founded in 1973 during the height of the oil crisis, heavily regulated transportation industries. They were not giving opportunities for new companies to break through for freight. They were not. In the early 70s, it was the highest inflation. There was low growth. But here are a few people that said, we're going to start this Federal Express business. That's what it was called, Federal Express. And it was an overnight service. And you guys all know who they are today. Another company, Netflix, started and founded in 1997. That's when people still went to Blockbuster, in Canada, Jumbo Video. It was a thing. We got in our car, we went, although it's pretty nostalgic, I have to say, and we bought popcorn. We always were disappointed because even though they had 700 videos, it was always out, the one I wanted. They wanted to shift to DVDs and then online streaming in 1997. We had a website in 1997. It said, coming soon, with a guy with a pick. Do you guys remember those on the websites? Some of you do. Sasha, you're like, what are you talking about? Slow internet. Think of how slow and jarring the internet was, and then building trust for people who otherwise love to get in their car and go to Blockbuster and see the neighbors and buy popcorn and all the other junk we used to buy. But they transformed the entire industry. Blockbuster had filed for Chapter 11. They're bankrupt along with Jumbo Video and everybody else. But they're still here, stronger than ever. And then last is Uber, founded in 2009. If you guys recall, 2009 is the global financial crisis, the absolute worst time to start a business. Ride sharing was news. They didn't even have laws to cover what Uber was servicing. The taxi industry hated Uber, saw them like a devil, and had multiple lawsuits. I'll never forget that. And the financial crisis had high unemployment, uncertainty. It was horrific. I remember for our company, the global financial crisis put our company on our knees. We were tested. But here's Uber. They were going to start a business. And by the way, they were not going to own a taxi. Unheard of. But somewhere, some men and women got together and say, how do we transform what otherwise is into something really awesome? And so this Charles Darwin quote always touches me. It's not the strongest of the species that survive, nor the most intelligent, but the ones most responsive to change. And I want you to know that whatever you're sitting with, you don't have to be the strongest, the biggest. You don't have to have the most money. But your ability to shift, to move, to say, this is not working, let me try this. This medication's not working, let me try this. This is not working, I gotta try that. Constantly adapting, constantly going over the corner, around the bend, and looking around and saying, this is not the room for me, I'm gonna come at this one. But I'm gonna win. I'm gonna succeed. And so with that, folks, I set the stage for All Hands Meeting 41. Welcome to All Hands Meeting 41, to all our amazing men and women who make up this company, to our facilities in the U.S., being at L.A., New Jersey, and Atlanta. I salute you guys. To all our BPSs and sales teams across the country, both Canada and the U.S., and to this amazing audience of over 40 people, I welcome you to All Hands Meeting 41. This is about the adaptation of change, what we're doing, where we're going, what we've done, how we set in the playing field in this world riddled with noise, riddled with uncertainty. We need answers. You need answers. And as leaders, we're going to deliver them. We're going to be we're going to be the inspiration. We're going to be the example Not perfect example, but we're going to be the example of what's possible specifically in our industry. So with that said, I want to jump into a few things that we collectively have done in 2 years. And everything I'm going to show you is not one man or woman. It's a collective group. So the digital adoption, what this means is the adoption of our partners, customers, and sales team members to adopt our new digital infrastructure online, whether it be web, API, and all the other hooks that you could, communicate with us. In 2022, we were at 20%. 2 years ago. 2 years ago. Today, we're at 67%. 67% of all orders go in unscathed right into our system, many of them while we sleep. Helping our customers get product to their door faster. This also helps error rates. This also gets them having notifications, information. They can know where product is and where it isn't, if it's on back order, if it's not, if it's transferred. Next, our return rate. Again, collectively, a return rate is a collection of team, whether it be from customer care not entering the blue molding versus the red molding, or whether someone picking the red molding, instead it should have been the blue molding, and maybe the cutter found out that the individual who picked it unfortunately picked a different shade or something like that. This is an incredible number. 2 years ago, we were at 3%, and today we're at 1.5%. We've cut our returns, meaning the friction between our customers when ordering product, in half in 2 years. It's a big deal. Now, I'm gonna tell you something. It's kind of like going on a diet. Who here has been on a diet? Anybody? Yeah, no one puts their hand up. Yeah, okay. No, nobody. Just me and Anastasia. All right. So the first 10 pounds of losing weight, it's kind of easy, right? It's water. But incrementally, after that 10, it becomes really difficult. Once you hit 3, to go to 2, by the way, going down is good. To go to 2.5 to 2 to 1.8 to 1.6 to 1. Takes a lot of work. A lot of cross-functional work around the entire company. So our fill rate is our satisfaction rate. Was at 76%. Today we sit with a staggering 94. And although it's a really great number, we want to go higher. And we believe this to be the highest number the industry has ever seen. And we're not playing against a competitor. We're not playing against that. We're playing against best in class around the world, whether it's GM or Ford or Amazon, or how do we get at that level? And our external net promoter score. So for all of you who know or don't know, our external net promoter score is an incredible indicator of how we're making our customers feel. It's a question we ask on our survey. Is it 3-4 times a year? 3 times a year. We were at 85. So the question is, would you recommend, Mr. Customer or Mrs. Customer, would you recommend Roma to your family and friends? And 85% in 2022 said yes. And now we're at 87. So we notched up, a few percentage points. We have a ways to go. Personally, I'd love to be in the 90s. I know, Tanya, you'd like to be in the 90s, and a number of us. But this concerted effort is shared with us all. And then our leadership team scores. So folks, I take leadership very seriously. We try to craft the best leadership team here at Roma, and we don't, veer from that. The one question we keep asking you guys, and this question's been asked over 14 years and about 3 to 4 times, and now we're increasing the number of times we're asking you, is the leadership team at Roma wowing me? Not is the leadership team good, not are they okay, are they wowing me? Wowing is the next level. It's the highest level. It's the pinnacle of our goal. It's the pinnacle of our mission. And here's your scores. So since 2020, we've progressively got better. Remember, there's no straight line to success. And here's some numbers for you. In June of 2020, we were at 7.74. Today, we're at 8.6, a 12% lift from 2020. So I want to give our leaders a round of applause if you can. Because I believe everything rises and falls on great leadership. We could see it. We could see it in our countries. We could see it in our municipalities. We could see it in our homes. show me two great parents raising children, the likelihood of them becoming great is high if the parents are really great leaders. And the same goes for our company. I'm one guy. I'd like to think I'm smart, but I'm not that smart. I need to surround myself with remarkable human beings who can bring really great ideas, who could challenge my conventional wisdom, because I've been here all my life, right? So having new perspectives from different industries bolting on will make us better. So I got a cool video for you on leadership. I think you're gonna love it.
Leadership is perhaps one of the most misunderstood subjects in business. Leadership has nothing to do with rank. I know many people who sit at the highest levels of an organization who are not leaders. We do as they tell us because they have authority over us, but we do not trust them and we do not follow them. Leadership is the awesome responsibility to see those around us rise.
And Simon Sinek is a great speaker on leadership. I constantly consume his content. It's pragmatic, it's common sense, it's logical. Love the way he kind of puts it around what leadership really is. And every year, I think for the past between 7 and 8 years, I think it's 8, we've hosted a leadership conference here. So all our leaders from across the country, both Canada and the US, come to headquarters, and we invest an entire week on becoming better leaders to help serve all of you. That's the reality. That's Leadership Conference in a nutshell. So this year it'll be held between October 7th through 11th in Roma headquarters. Some of our new people on our leadership team, I can't wait to have around that table, along with some of the US new individuals. So I can't wait to play and go really deep. This is what we do. So we curate the week. We have very early mornings. I think there's something special about sunrise. So this is about 6:30 in the morning. We provide coffee and refreshments, and we pair people up. Anthony in LA probably doesn't have the opportunity to spend as much time with Tanya Ferraro. And so we connect them. And we don't just have them go out and have a cigarette. What we actually do is we curate the experience. We curate it. We actually have questions that they got to go through. Questions like, what's something really exciting that you haven't shared openly that happened to you in the last 12 months? Or what utterly scares you? So you get on a personal, deeper level as to who people are. We do a lot of winning, celebrating, a lot of testing each other, working together. Talk about leadership team. Leadership team has to trust each other. They got to be open to be able to admit their failures. They got to be the first one to say, I messed up. I messed up. And then the leadership team needs to be there to say, we got you. We'll make this better. So a lot of introspective thinking. There's Brian there, filling out some core value cards and putting it in the sleeves of all the different people. We eat. That's a prerequisite made by Anastasia. So we have to eat a lot at the all hands meeting. Ross, there's been a request for tamales at this leadership conference. But it's important to break bread together. It's so important, the conversations that go on while we're here. We also do a lot of thinking and playing, but we also do a lot of sentimental work together to connect. We also do a lot of content. So it's not all fun, right? It's not all eating. A lot of content. How do we become better? Examples of how do we become better. We do a lot of content. How do we become better, trustworthy leaders? What is our Achilles heel? How do we become better? We connect with people. This is a real live photo of us connecting with some of you folks. It's a beautiful experience to see. And then I put them up to the test. So we do challenges. I love challenges. And we make teams, and we put teams against teams to see who wants to win the most. And then there's times in the park, right? Just free time. Connect. Go deep. Or not. Talk about the birds. I don't know. Coffee time, connection time, core value time, and a whole lot of laughter. And I think these are the things that make a leadership team great, so that when challenges do arise, we all huddle together instead of doing this. There's a lot of companies that do this. We saw it 2 days ago here. One of the huge roads was a DVP or something, or which one was it? DVP looked like a river. Cars completely submerged. And the politicians we elected, come out and say, well, not my fault, that's climate change. It's failure, poor leadership. Not here. We take responsibility and we take action. And there's one more photo I want you to see, is this one. Oh, no, not that one. That one's a good one too. But there's more food. We got a tutorial on making onions by Ross. That was really fun. And then who could, I got to tell you, looking at Michael's face here, see, this is the face when he looks up, sweating, when he knows I'm winning on the other team, and he absolutely is not happy here. Would you guys agree? And what I love about Michael is his tenacious nature to want to win. Like secretly, when we go to a restaurant, we kind of race each other to the restaurant. It's kind of fun. But all kidding aside, it's these sorts of things that make us great, folks. Because remember, what we sell is really insignificant. But when you assemble great teams together, nothing's impossible. And so on that note, I hope you get a feel for where we're headed in this all hands. By the way, we're just getting warmed up. But to take the stage now, I'd like to call up Tanya Ferraro. Give it up for Tanya, folks.
Thank you, Tony. Welcome, everyone. All Hands Meeting 41. Hope you're enjoying the show so far. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Tanya Ferraro, and I'm responsible for the partner experience here at Roma. And we have so many things that we've accomplished in the last little while, and we have a lot more work to do and where we're going. So I'm really excited to show you. So as Tony touched upon the external Net Promoter Score, for those of you that aren't familiar with this process, what we do several times a year is we reach out to our partners and we ask them one most important question: do you recommend Roma to your family and friends? And based on this question and the survey, we ask for feedback as well, because we want to know how we're doing. Feedback's a gift and we really value it. So we do this several times a year, and we have set ourselves a goal. We set ourselves a goal for 90%. And in the last survey that we've done, we achieved an 87% of those that we surveyed recommended Roma to our family and friends, and with a 3% variance. So just looking over the last few surveys that we've done, we're doing a really great job, but are we extremely excited about this? I think we can do better. We're really happy with the results, but we're always looking for those opportunities, taking the feedback from our partners and saying, how can we do better? What can we do differently? And also celebrating the positive feedback. The positive feedback does come, and partners are happy of what we're doing, and they share some experiences with us, and we celebrate those. But we always look to say, how can we raise that benchmark? How can we get better? So what is the goal? So the goal is to move, inspire, and wow, and to elevate the partner experience, removing any and all friction. So at the end of the day, that's our goal. Let's look for where the friction is and how do we remove it? How do we create that wow experience each and every time we interact? So enhancing the partner experiences. Does everybody remember fax? That was actually a thing way back when. Faxes were a method of, or way that our partners were sending in their orders to our customer experience team. So for those of you who remember, sometimes the faxes would come through, sometimes they wouldn't. Sometimes they were legible, sometimes they were cut off. They really created a lot of friction within our customer experience team, for our partners who called to follow up on an order and were like, we didn't get that order. Faxes were a thing way back when. And it was one of the areas that we wanted to improve on. So what we did collectively is we worked together with our business partner specialists, our sales team, our customer experience team, and we brought our faxes from 4% back in 2021 to just under 2% in 2022, 0.5 in 2023, which is the year we actually shut them off. And slowly, slowly, by guiding, by training, by teaching our partners, our sales team, by everyone working together to slowly make little baby steps and showing our partners the experience of a lifetime on our new infrastructure on the website. It's so amazing with all the tools that we've implemented, making the experience so much easier for them to place orders. All the accuracy is there, and we're continuing to work on that, bringing our 2024 numbers of faxes to 0. So we've eliminated faxes. Really big win for us. And that's just one of the things that we're doing to make sure that we're always working on the partner experience. So the transformation, as Tony touched upon, we did go from just under 28% in 2021 to automated and web orders to just under 70% in 2024, and that's just continuing to rise as we work to improve it, offering solutions, adding different ways or different things on the website for our partners to really take on that automation. And besides, it's open 24 hours. Our customer experience team is happy to serve between 9 and 6, but the website is here 24 hours, so we want to make sure that the tools are there. So where do we go from here? We continue to look for more friction and eliminate it. So one of the areas that we're going to be focusing on is email. So email, for those of you that don't know, we have a mailbox that our partners, our BPSs, can just send a request into our customer experience team, anything and anything. Send a request in and we're here to help, we're here to serve. But we're identifying what are the different types of requests that are coming in there. What are the areas that we can offer solutions a different way so that the request can be taken care of instantly? So email is the next focus. We're looking for different areas, different solutions we're going to be implementing to bring email down even further. So just a snapshot of email and orders that came in through email. 2021, we were just over 10%. 2022, just under 15. We had a little spike in 2023. I think that's when we migrated into the new infrastructure on the website. And now we're back down to just under 5% in 2024. So a really big decline because a lot of the solutions and a lot of emails that were coming in are now available 24 hours a day on the website. So some of the solutions or some of the requests that are coming in that we're going to be looking at offering an automated solution is web help, quoting mirrors, quoting special projects, order statuses. Where's my order? What's the tracking? That's all going to be at their fingertips. And account changes. So that's some of the areas that we are planning on focusing on automation, which is coming over the next little while as we work on offering and creating those solutions with the teams that we have internally. So another thing that we've been doing that is part of our partner experience, improving that partner experience, or creating an experience that is memorable. So I mentioned the last time I was up here the privilege I had of reading the book Unreasonable Hospitality by Will Guidara. Okay, he was a restaurant order in the US and responsible for bringing it to the highest Michelin rating. And he had a lot of examples, a lot of best practices on how he did that through the partner experience or through their customer experience. So one of the things that I took away from that book is legendary experiences, as he refers to, and as we refer to, move, inspire, and wow experiences. So it's to give people a memory so good it enabled them to relive that experience with us. So we've gone ahead and we created these experiences within our own teams here at in the customer experience team. And I want to share with you some of the feedback or some of the experiences that we've done so far from this book. So the Move, Inspire, and Wow experiences that we've created here that have created memorable experiences with our partners. First one is Jerry from Art Visions in Las Vegas. So Rosa had, one of our customer experience specialists, had a conversation with Jerry over the phone. And he's from Las Vegas, but he's a huge Maple Leaf fan. So they were chatting about that. They had a really good laugh about it. And after they hung up the phone, Rose was like, he's a big Maple Leaf fan. Why don't we send him something so that he can wear during Leaf games? So we sent him a nice little Maple Leaf shirt. He called in right after receiving it, and he was so happy that we had sent that to him. And he's like, wow, he goes, thank you. He goes, I wasn't expecting that. And that's the whole point of these experiences. So I'm going to share a few more. So Phil from Cusick Picture Framing in Newburgh, Oregon, Christine from our customer experience team had spoken to him, and I'm not sure if anyone remembers early spring. There was quite a bit of rain, a lot of clouds, not too much sun, and we had kind of like a span of no sun, and it was getting a little depressing. Well, not just here, but apparently across some of the areas in the United States. And Christine was having a conversation with him, and he was like, I wish we just can get some sun. It's really depressing. It's been a lot of clouds, a lot of rain. Just want something to, sun brightens up your day. So after that conversation, Christine's like, why don't we send him a box of sunshine? So we did. And he was over the moon. He just could not get over how happy this made him, or how happy his day was when he saw this. Another one was from Dina. She was speaking with Ivan Fraser Studio from Nova Scotia here in Canada. And he's been a Roma partner for a very long time, a very valuable partner, but he's retiring, and he purchased a boat. And he was sharing with Dina how he was going to bring his family and friends and the boat and go for little tours. And Dina has a really good relationship with Ivan, and she hung up the phone and she's like, Tanya, we got to do something for Ivan. He's retiring. He bought a boat. He's talking about being the captain, and he was so proud. So we sent him a captain's hat so he can wear on his tours with his friends and family. And again, another experience where he was just over the moon and really happy, and called Dina and said, oh my God, Dina, I'm going to wear this on every time I go out with my friends and family. Last but not least, Azim from Framing on Washington. Again, another valuable partner. He's from New Jersey. He came to Toronto for a visit, and he did a site tour with us here. And as we were going through the warehouse, he noticed that we provide the service of printing on canvas. Wasn't aware of that we did that here. And he said, Tanya, he goes, that's really good. Maybe I'm going to look into having Roma do some printing for me. I said, yeah, of course. Just let me know what you need, what you're looking for. We'll give you pricing and all that. So he leaves, and after an hour, his tour, he left. And we decided, what better way to give him a sample of the canvas that we printed on with his store picture in the front. So we sent that over to him, and he was really happy with that. He really likes it. So these are some of the experience that we've created just to, go above and beyond. For when they look at that, they think of Roma. They're like, that experience they had, or that interaction they had with Roma. And it's just a feel-good moment all around. So we see our customers as invited guests to a party, and we are the hosts. It's our job every day to make every important aspect of the customer experience a little bit better. And at the end of the day, that's what we're here to do. We want to create that happy, positive, wow experience with everybody that we interact with. Well, thank you, everyone. And now I'm happy to put the stage back to Tony.
Awesome. Let's give it up for Tanya, please. Well done. Well done. Well done. So I'm going to ask, so we got a request. I don't know where we got the request, but it was bring back the halftime show. Does everybody still want a halftime show at some point? Yeah? Okay, good. So here's what I'm going to ask right now, whether you're in the USDCs or whether you're here. If we can get up, kind of stretch. It's been an hour. Let's just get up. Get up. Yep, you can get up. Maybe just give it a nice stretch, get the body flowing, get some blood going, and you can sit down. All right, cool. And just for the record, you don't have to hold your bathroom. If you have to go, just go. So this next part's really exciting. Tanya spoke about how we're moving, inspiring our customers in the call center areas. And I think one thing we've done really well over the years is we constantly elevate the bar, even internally, with product development, meaning molding. And we got an incredible, completely new way of making molding. We think it's probably the most dynamic way of making molding. We've never done this in the 40 years of our history. And so without further ado, I want to launch what I think quintessentially our team has done to transform a new art form in picture frame manufacturing. Take a look. Oh, okay. Before we do that, I do want to talk about the name of the collection. The name is called Vola. And Vola means, oh, and then here's the slide. So without going into it, here we go. I think you're going to enjoy it.
I get the money right on cue. Keep the duffel bag up inside my coupe. Hold a couple racks, tell 'em I love you. You wanna be a boss, do it like I do. Yeah. Get that money, I'ma flex. I get that money, I'ma flex. I get that money, I'ma flex. You now rockin' with the best.
All right, that's Vola, folks. What did you guys think? So Vola, the name itself, means to engage in flight, to move through the air by means of wings, or to travel by air. We've reinvented it in our company. And what we feel that this collection has done is to proportionally splatter and drip paint on the product itself. These are all 100% done by hand to freely express through emotions. When we were creating these, and we'll show you in a little bit, the reasoning as behind how we've created some of the look and the nuances. And we wanted to surprise by spontaneously and energetically putting the paint. There's a craft on how much you can put, when you could put, how do you layer the product. This is the product in itself, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 colors. One more beautiful than the other. We just think this is going to be brilliant. It's going to be used really well. We think the industry needs something fresh. It's become somewhat stale. Everybody's just copying each other. We decided to change, move, kind of adapt a new way of doing things, and we believe we've done that really well here. And we've also created it in our Elite Collection. So I believe the Elite Collection in this size comes in 3 different colors. Just really beautiful. When you see it, you feel it has a beautiful acrylic finish on it. Just superb. Now, what we've done, the marketing team has done an incredible job, pre-marketing this product. They've been dripping it to various different partners throughout the United States and Canada. And so what we've done is we've created some wow packages that have gone out, I think a few weeks ago, and we told them to hold back some of their excitement, but to send us their video. So when they're opening this collection, we wanted it captured on video for you, kind of like an unboxing or one of those cool videos. These will be shared, so I hope you enjoy it. Take a look.
Oh my gosh.
What the heck?
What?
Oh, that's fun.
Oh my gosh.
What the? Oh man.
What's in here? Here, open this.
Inspire.
Wow.
Oh, something. A frame. Duh, something.
The cutest.
That's good marketing.
Love it.
Our marketing team wanted this because they said good marketing. But you can hear by their excitement about the product itself. That is really the essence and the core of creating great product. You want that first expression to be wild. Here's another one.
Hey, I'm Allison from Off the Wall Art and Framing in downtown Toronto, and I'm going to do a little unboxing of Roma Molding's new Vola collection. I'm always asking for more color, I'm always asking for more texture, and wow, Roma really delivered on these. They're really unique, and I love that they don't look like a manufactured finish. Ooh, ah. The line comes in 2 profiles, a smaller one that would be cool for little shadow boxes, and then a larger that could be great for a big stretch canvas. I gotta say, Roma, 10 out of 10.
Okay, so as you can see, they've been coming in strong and steady. We wanted to play 2. I think we have like 5 so far. I think there's more coming in. We have great customers. They give us real feedback. This is unedited per se. There's no script. And you could feel their excitement on when they receive the product. And I just think the team has done a remarkable job, the marketing team. Let's give it up for marketing, folks. And if that wasn't good enough, we make ordering these products so easy. So if you are a partner right now and watching the show live and you want to get to the page, we've created a special release page. If you click on if you put your phone up with the camera thing and then you press the URL for the QR code, it'll bring you directly there and you can interact with the product. It's really fun. I think the team has done a remarkable job, as well as our dev team, to make this happen. So product starts to begin shipping on July 22 of 2024. That is Monday. So happy to announce it's fully in stock. Our team's done an incredible job getting samples pegged up in advance of this collection. So I just think there's going to be great things upon us for this collection, and I think there's going to be a lot of shipping in the near future. Speaking of shipping, does this look like your house once in a while? Anybody? Men, does this look like your house once in a while? That you didn't order this and it's just magically there? Or does it look like Anastasia's house? Right? And that's not wine. Do they ship wine? Not in Canada, anyways. Or does your house look like this, right? Yeah, all kidding aside, why I put these parcels up, partly because it's therapy for me, because I can't go a week without at least 1 box hitting the house. But I love what Jeff Bezos has done. No one could deny Amazon's success. Nobody. Now, I recall Amazon in the mid to late 90s, and I recall them selling, they were selling books online, and that's kind of how they started with books, and then they went to a few other things, music, but they were selling books online. People laughed at them. Bookstores thought it was going to be a fad. People wanted to come in. Clearly, we know how that ended up. But I love this quote by Jeff Bezos. He said, "The biggest risk is not taking any risk at all." And I want you to think, even within your life, are you taking the risks necessary? And when we say risks, are you doing the things that truly light you up? Are you setting it aside? Are you setting it aside for next week, next month, next year? Maybe when I get married, maybe when I find a friend, maybe when, are you doing that? And the biggest risk in that is not taking that risk. In a world that changes really quickly, and we know this world is changing really quickly, the only strategy that is guaranteed to fail is the one that we're not taking the risk. It's guaranteed. And I'll tell you here at our company, we're the polar opposite of that. We're taking risks every day. We're trying to calculate the risks every day. We're not, foolish about our risks. We calculate them, and then we go, and then we look, and then we course correct, and then we go. And Tanya talked about that. When we talked about the abolishment of fax machines and faxing in orders, we had death threat emails coming to us. We'll never buy your product. But if you're slow to, if you're gentle on the change, if you help people get there, right, Tanya? If you show them a new way, if you show them what's possible, if you show them the benefits, if you walk them through. I can't count how many times our team did outbound campaigns on just helping our partners navigate the website. For some, whether you're older or younger, they just had a challenge logging on to our website. For whatever reason, they weren't web users. They were fearful of, doing X or pressing the wrong button, and I think our team has done a remarkable job. So for customer care, when you think that call that may have lasted 35 minutes and you helped a person navigate our website didn't make a difference, know that it makes a huge difference. It makes a huge difference in their life, gaining confidence in doing things differently. Because, by the way, what we're teaching them there is we're teaching them how to use Amazon and all the other things in their life, right? So talking about taking risks, I think what's really cool is sometimes we're sheltered about what's happening in the world, right? The news headlines are usually, climate related or unemployment related, but we don't shine a light on the remarkable things that humans are doing, how they're taking risks to change people's life for the better. And so I want to stop and I want to give you a small video as to what people are doing. They're taking risks, they're challenging things, and the people, the recipient of the technology, are the people also taking the risk because there's risk of failure. But take a look at this video.
The device is an electrocorticography grid, which is attached to a pedestal, which is screwed onto the participant's skull. Anne is the very first person to have this combination.
On the screen, you'll see decoded text, speech, and avatar.
When Anne was 30 years old, she had a stroke, which led to locked-in syndrome.
Hey Anne, how's it going?
It is good to see you.
That's the first time we've ever had a conversation using this system.
If you are able to produce text, synthesize speech, and then also a personalized avatar, she believes that would really advance her ability to become a counselor and to work with people.
I thought it would be good for me.
How can we create technology that can help people really meaningfully contribute with all sorts of abilities?
Anything is possible.
So what I love, there's so many things I love about that video. By the age of 30, she probably went out, had a party, had some fun. Maybe a few weeks or months later, she's hit with a stroke. Her life's devastated. She can't make speech. And I don't know her well, but clearly speech was impaired. She had probably other ailments because she was sitting, and she was not going to give up on her life. Many would be like, all right, well, this is my life. What am I going to do? I'm going to do whatever I can. And yet she probably volunteered for this really risky surgery by, drilling a hole in her head. And then I don't even know what all that stuff, I can't even repeat what she said, the chromography, and I don't know, and you push, and then it's the first time she's probably speaking to her spouse. Like the risk and bravery in that woman, right? To take the challenge. She could have said, I don't know, I'll just figure out life. But yet here's someone that's willing to risk, willing to change, willing to do whatever it takes. And then the men and women who are building this technology to help her. This is what, by the way, the news should be filled with. Imagine our kids watching this, being inspired. I want to help people do X. It's wild. Well, we have a special announcement and a special project because we're changing. We're constantly evolving. We're not going to be okay with the status quo. And we call it Project Elevate. That's the name we picked. So you'll be hearing a lot about Project Elevate. It's a modern business foundation for a better tomorrow for us all. And this is our new infrastructure. So we run SAP as an ERP system. It's served us well over 17 years, and now we've bought a new, very modern, new technology called Epicor. So we're in an amazing partnership with Epicor. Epicor is primarily made for a manufacturing distribution type company like ours. It's a very big company and scales very well. This is what Epicor is.
It's a fast-moving world out there, and to get noticed, you have to be focused. At Epicor, our focus has always been our customers, who make, deliver, and sell the things everyone needs. We've been building relationships with them for almost 50 years. So we've asked ourselves a question. What do our customers really need from us? Right now and into the future. They need to know that we understand their business so deeply that we can anticipate their every need and deliver a solution that's perfectly fit to them. This is what already makes Epicor unique. but it's time to transform the way we communicate it. So we're reflecting our deep expertise through the way we go to market, making it easier for customers to find exactly what they need. We're revealing our close affinity with our customers by putting them center stage, speaking to their needs, and supporting their ambitions. We're showing how smart, flexible, and responsive our solutions are by bringing them to life in our new visual identity. And we're connecting better with more customers by taking what we already do so well and amplifying it with new confidence and focus. Our brand refresh is an evolution, but it feels like a revolution. And right now, with everything aligned under one powerfully unified brand, we're ready to accelerate our customers' ambitions, ready to build a world of better business. Welcome to Epicor.
So that's our Epicor. That's Epicor in a nutshell. I want you to know SAP served us really well, but we've kind of got to the peak of what we can do with the software. While we believe we've exhausted all the different service levels, this is going to help us get real-time data far faster than we've ever had it. It's going to be putting terminals on the ground in your hands to get the information to you quicker without any delays, without phone calls. It's going to have more visibility and so much more. So I don't want to oversell it, but the project's going to take time. This is a 12-month project, and we've assembled an incredible team to put this together. This is not a one-man operation, and by no stretch is it just me. This is an incredible team of men and women who make up varying different parts of the business, whether it be from Michael in finance, David, operations, we have Tanya and Ross, and a whole plethora, Melissa, and to the right here, you'll see Mark Vaughn. He's new. He's a gentleman that we hired on as a PM. We want to get this thing so right. We've hired a project manager to come on board. We're all very busy, and he's going to do his best to kind of corral us, make sure we're on track, review budgets, because these projects are, these are monumental. Now, for many projects of this magnitude, you usually do it once in your lifetime. Here within in my career, this is going to be my second time doing it, but it's a huge overhaul of what we're doing. And the goal of this, as I kind of indicated, is to streamline operations and improve efficiency. We think we've improved things really well. We've kind of gone from here to here. We want to go to there. So just think metaphorically. We want to adapt to the changes. Folks, the world's changing so fast. We're seeing people, drill screws in people's head, and you're able to get data out. There's other things with artificial intelligence. We have to stay at the forefront if we want to win. And lastly, we want to improve the customer experience. I think that's our obsession. How can we move, inspire, and wow first one another? Because having data in your hands on tablets and screens makes you make decisions. It empowers you rather than waiting for, Tony or Mike or whoever it might be. We want to empower you. We want to give you the power to make the right calls for our customer in real time. And we're going to be doing that. And we want to make sure that our customer feels it. The dream is that we emulate, and I showed Amazon, right? The risk is not doing anything. I think if Amazon's done anything great, they've transformed the online experience. And every other company should be pegging their experience to Amazon because it's flawless. How many people have ordered in this audience from Amazon? Can I see a show of hands? Okay, what is that? What would you guys say? 50% at least? Yes? More? More than 50%. How many people did it online? How many people emailed Amazon? Nobody. Magic. And how many people love the experience for the most part, right? All of us, yeah. Because we order it, even if we're on break or on lunch, and oh shit, I forgot to order, the thing, and I have to grab the thing, and then in many cases, depending on the time of year, by the time you drive home, you see those boxes at your door, and it's frictionless. There's no effort. And they take money right from your Visa in an instance, right? Bezos, eh? But what he's managed to do, and no one can take it away from him, he was obsessed with one thing, the customer experience, removing all friction in between. And so Project Elevate timeline, I think this is important. I talked a little bit about it. This is kind of the project scope. I want to share this with you because you're going to hear this all the time, and I want you to have the data, and I want you to have the wherewithal right here. You're seeing it here. You know what it's going to be. And throughout the stages, we'll give you updates. But this is kind of how the project's going to go. We're in the as-is stage, so plan month 1, month 2. We're about to go in the staged. So we've been working about 4 months. We're about 4 months into this project to some degree on figuring out what to get. But if you add all those up, it's about 12 months. It is 12 months, give or take, because they say 1 to 2. In computer terms, where's Peter, Rob, and Dave? 1 to 2 months in computer land is usually what? 6? All right, thank you. So it better not be 6, but no, I'm confident we'll get close to it. And then we're probably going to deploy sometime July of 2025. But I want you to hear it from me first. This will revolutionize the customer experience as well as our internal experience. So change is upon us. Now, change is that thing. Like if you want your body to change, like you want triceps or you want biceps or you want abs, it's a bit painful to do abs, but then when you lift your shirt, you see these bumps, right? So there's going to be some bumps. There's going to be some challenges. There's going to be some back and forth. There's going to be a lot of questions, by the way, to all our support staff, all our team members, because we don't have all the answers in the leadership team. So I want to set the stage there. And so we looked at a number of different companies, not only Epicor. We didn't just go, yeah, we want Epicor. No, we vetted a number of partners and back and forth, and they flew here, and we went out to dinner and decks and figuring out what's the best solution for us. Some are way too big for us. Some are way too small. It's finding the right partner, and we believe Epicor is the right partner. And then this is Evan. Evan was part of the whole experience. So I called Evan up, and by the way, Evan made this experience so smooth. So smooth, and it goes to talk about some of the frontline people at Epicor. I haven't met the CEO of Epicor. Or he or her, I don't know who they are. But I met Evan, and he's some of the frontline people. Here's what he has to say to all of you.
Hey Roma team, my name is Evan Lane, and here at Epicor, I manage all of our Canadian partners. Epicor is a best-in-class provider of ERP and product configurator solutions to manufacturers. Over the last 4 months, we've been working with Tony and the selection team at Roma on your new ERP project, and we are very excited for what the future holds. Your project is scheduled for tentative kickoff on July 22nd and will take about a year to complete. This is a very important project for all of us at Epicor and EC Solutions, and we thank you for your business and your partnership over the course of it. We are going to aim to wow you and the Roma team the way that you wow your customers day in, day out. Thanks again, and we're looking forward very much to what the future holds.
All right, so that's Evan. Isn't he a nice guy? He almost has a Spock-like. Did you see him do the hello? Yeah, no? Okay. I thought that was very kind of cool. Yeah, just a great individual, very detailed, very straight when it comes to this is what it does and what it doesn't do. The team at Epicor has been incredible, and if you know anything about our Roma team, we're not easy to deal with. We're going to uncover and peel back that onion. We want to know all the ghosts in the skeleton, or the skeletons in the closet. We want to open up the software. Does it do this exactly? Because many times people in software will say, "Oh yeah, we can do this." Can it give real-time data? Yeah, it'll give real-time data. It'll just take you 2 days to get the real-time data. Well, that's not good enough. And we've looked at every solution, and we believe this is the right solution for us. And I want to stress something, but it's not a perfect solution. Just like your spouse, they're not perfect, but they're awesome. Yes? You're supposed to say yes. Okay, good. We want happy marriages, right? Yeah, so that's a little bit about Evan. So on that note, listen, Epicor is going to transform our company, and it's going to be as a result of the team that we assemble, as well as all of you. This is not a one-man operation. It's going to require all our U.S. distribution centers. We're going to be going deep with some of our sales team members along with all the leadership team. So one thing I do want to say, I want people to pack some patience when it comes to some of the questions we're going to be asking. We want to peel it really back so that we don't miss anything. And what the end result's going to be, it's kind of like doing 700 sit-ups, is the end result's going to look incredible. Not perfect, but really incredible. So it's an exciting time. So on that note, I'd like to call up Anastasia. Let's give it up for Anastasia.
Thank you for that intro, Tony. Hi, everybody. How's everyone doing so far? Great. Woo! My name is Anastasia Opate. You probably already know that. I'm the Culture and Talent Leader, and it's great to be here for another All Hands. So the first thing I want to talk about is our internal Net Promoter Score, which should really be called the happiness score, because it really tells us how happy you guys are working at Roma, or the willingness of our team members to recommend our company to our family and friends. So from the last Pulse survey, which was taken in March of 2024, the result was 89.1%. So that's 89% of you guys are happy working at Roma. That's fantastic. Thank you so much, everybody. The goal is obviously 92%, so we can do better. And I know I have some work to do, but all of us actually have a little bit of work to do as a company to get us there. So next, I would like to talk about the Core Value Awareness Week. So why do we do Core Value Awareness Weeks, guys? We do them because they align with our company values. You guys all know our 10 family core values. They are the cornerstone of our business. They are everything that every interaction that we have with each other outside of the company, everything that we do is guided by these values. So we use these weeks to draw attention to these values, to make sure that we are remembering exactly what we do and why we do it every single day. And next, it's to show gratitude and recognition. Now, as you all know, maybe you don't know, there have been many, many, many studies done on why gratitude is important and why it brings positivity into your life, both physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. And we know that, which is why we do Core Value Awareness Weeks. And we know why gratitude is important to our team, because it boosts team morale. So that's very important. Those are the 3 reasons why we do core value. I mean, there's many, many more reasons, but these are kind of the main ones. So this is kind of what we did at the last Core Value Awareness Week, which was in March of 2024. We thought we would elevate it a little bit because everybody loves receiving core value cards, like physical ones. And it's really hard to send core value cards to the other DCs. You have to send them in an email, which is kind of not the same thing. So we busted out some boxes, and we decided that everybody can fill out some core value cards, and we'll mail them out to the other DCs. And obviously, the response on that was fantastic. Now, our great development team, web development team, came along, and they're like, guys, we can do this so much better. So Dave and Rob came up with a digital way of delivering core value cards. And the website is romamolding.com/CVC. And basically, it's very straightforward. You just go on, you choose which core value card you want to deliver, you scroll down to the bottom, you put the recipient's name, whomever you're sending your core value to, their email address. You could put your name if you want, or if you want to make it anonymous, it's up to you. And you select your message. You type out whatever you want to thank them for. So simple and easy, and it really makes core value delivering so much easier and so much faster, and we can deliver them to anybody. So far this year, we have delivered over 2,000 core value cards company-wide, which is a huge number. I think we have now set a goal of delivering 5,000 for the rest of the year, which I think is more than possible, guys. And our next Core Value Awareness Week is on September 16th to 20th. So let's hit those numbers, guys. Next, I want to give a little gratitude for our awesome culture team, because these are the guys and the gals that make all these awesome events, all these culture weeks possible. And this is really the very kind of top tier masterminds behind everything. There's people kind of at the bottom as well that support, so I'd like to thank them as well. But we're always looking for culture team members to join our team. So anybody, if you're looking to help us with events and you know you have some good ideas yourself, we would love to hear from you. And that brings me to a little video that we've created of some of the events over the last 6 months. As you can see, we work hard, but we play even harder, right? And lastly, I would like to remind you once again, after the end of every single All Hands, I kindly invite you to complete our pulse survey, the feedback of which is very, very important to us in order to continue bringing great experiences to you guys and making sure you're happy coming into work. Thank you so much. And at this time, I would like to bring Tony back on the stage.
Let's give it up for Anastasia, folks. Cool. So love those photos, and you know, it might not mean a lot to everybody all the time, but when we look at these photos and we look at people building bonds and relationships and friendships, and there's a lot of funny moments, there's sentimental moments, there's a lot of laughter. I think, again, how are we continuing to elevate that? How do we show other companies what's possible? Folks, what we have is really special. There are other companies within, there are people within other companies that want to kill each other. Not like really physically, but that despise one another, don't want to work with them. They can't like pass the baton to the other person because they can't look at them. Like, I just think that, like, what a horrible way to live your life for 8 hours a day. And here, you know, we work really hard to make sure that we curate the right people, right? Because it's also our responsibility. Who are we letting in the company? Who are we letting in, right? And we don't get it right all the time, but we have a rigorous, you know, vetting process to make sure whoever comes in adds to who we are, aligns with the values of who we are. It doesn't have to align 100%. You're not looking for 100%, but we're looking for an alignment. So with that note, I want to talk about core value awards. You know, Anastasia talked about the core value cards, giving out over 2,000 core value cards. That's 2,000 times we acknowledged one another within our company. You know, think to yourself, when's the last time you acknowledged your friend for being your friend? Or acknowledged your spouse for something they did really well? We gotta keep a cadence on how we can acknowledge the great behavior that we see. So this is what we do. This is core value awards, are awards by the people for the people. This is not me voting, this is you voting. We collect them and then we present them. It's that simple. I do want to put a note out that when we send these emails, because we need the feedback, let us know the awesome work men and women are doing within our company so we can showcase them. But without further ado, here's the first Core Value Award recipient. It's for Core Value 8, be creative, open-minded, and share ideas. So when I click the next slide, let's give a round of applause. Here's our first award winner. We got Enzo. And here's what you said about Enzo. You said this about Enzo.
Enzo exemplifies our core value of creativity and idea sharing consistently. The innovative approach to his craft always brings fresh perspectives to the team. His expertise and attention to detail ensure that he always delivers quality work, setting a high standard for others to follow. Enzo's willingness to share his extensive knowledge and his enthusiasm for collaborative thinking have led to significant improvements across our operations. He is always ready to assist his colleagues, offering valuable insights and creative solutions to challenges. Enzo's contributions have not only driven our projects forward, but have also cultivated a culture of creativity, excellence, and continuous improvement within our team.
Let's give it up for Enzo, folks. Thank you, Enzo. Well done. Our next Core Value Award is for Core Value number 10, Love Learning and Pursue Growth and Development. I think this one's one of my favorites. Here's the next winner. Let's give it up for Rosa. Here's what you had to say.
Rosa has taken on all of the advanced tasks and continues to ask questions to ensure that she perfects the process. Her love of knowledge has not only made her an exceptional team member, but has allowed her to handle a variety of situations with minimal guidance. Her initiative to take on whatever comes her way is truly inspirational. Way to go, Rosa. You're doing amazing.
Let's give it up for Rosa, folks. Where's Rosa? Where's Rosa? Is she here? She's not here. Okay, cool. And next is Core Value number 4, build a positive team and family environment. This is also a very, very special one. And I think it really, really hits home. I'm not sure if you've seen any photos of him, but this is a great award that I listened to afterwards. It was really nice. Here's the winner of this award, folks. Let's give it up for Ronnie Trotter. Here's what you had to say.
Ronnie embodies all of our core values, but what truly stands out is his commitment to core value number 4, building a positive team and family environment. Though he's been with us for less than 6 months, Ronnie has already made a remarkable impact on his team and the entire company. From the moment he joined, Ronnie has gone above and beyond to be helpful and supportive to everyone around him. His super friendly demeanor and unwaveringly positive attitude brighten up not only his office, but the entire team. Whether tackling challenges or celebrating successes, Ronnie's approach is always encouraging and motivating. Ronnie's dedication to fostering a positive atmosphere has not gone unnoticed. His ability to connect with colleagues, lend a hand whenever needed, and maintain the best attitude no matter the circumstances truly sets him apart. We are incredibly fortunate to have Ronnie on our team, and we look forward to seeing the continued positive influence he will bring. He is undoubtedly an invaluable asset, and we love having him as part of our Roma family.
Let's give it up for Ronnie. So I've had a number of conversations with Ronnie. We haven't met in person. He's our DC lead in Atlanta. Salute to Atlanta team. But every conversation I have with Ronnie is remarkable. just a great human being and a giver's mindset, always willing to help and go above and beyond, both on the court and off the court. He'll be here later this year at our leadership conference. So when you do see some of the folks come in, I highly, highly encourage you to sit down, have a coffee with them. But yeah, what a great award to all three winners. Let's give it up for all three winners, folks. Okay, so as we near the end of the all hands meeting, I hope this has been informative. You know, we talked about the changing landscape of our world. We talked about the noisiness of the world, what's real, what's not. You know, our all hands meeting is an opportunity to talk about the very essence of the things that are happening at our company. Why we have no to very, very little gossip is because we host all hands meetings. I tell people all the time. You know, someone came to me recently and said, "What's your turnover rate?" I'm like, what a stupid question. Why don't you talk about what's your engagement rate, or how happy are the people at your company, or how are your skills matrix growing? I say, I got the best people in the world. Got the best team in the world. And quintessentially, from leadership all the way, because when I look at our company, I look at it more like a nucleus rather than a pyramid shape. I just think the more we can do these sorts of things, the more we can share what's happening and how we can adapt and what we're doing and the feedback and the pulse, success becomes imminent and we all win. And then I think what we're blessed with is doing things like Roma Wish, and it's to create a meaningful impact and global change around the world. I think a lot of companies talk about doing things. I think our company has always rise to the occasion, good or bad. If we had good years, we did more. If we had not so good years, we did a little less, but we always did something. I think it's important to keep your hand on the pulse of giving back. I think the benefits are incredible. And so Helen Keller has this beautiful quote: "The unselfish effort to bring cheer to others will be the beginning of a happier life for ourselves." You know, and we can share videos, we can share testimonials, but the very act of serving someone else for nothing, for otherwise just doing good, I can't tell you the ancillary benefits. I think it's actually great for your health. And at some point, I have this vision of how do we do days where we can bring, family members, maybe kids. I want to bring my kids in shelters so that they can see and understand firsthand what's happening in the world, because it's up to us to make it a slightly better place. And so, the stats, you guys see the stats all the time. Over 40 million people have used food banks annually. Last year, these are last year's number, 40 million. That's every single person in Canada. Just think of the population of our entire Canadian country would use a food bank. Well, 500,000 people have used shelters, and 34 million people live below the poverty line as we speak. These aren't headlines that make the news. We're not showing people how it looks. At the top, people are talking about, we're going to make change, and I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. I don't really care. I care about the action taken so that kids don't have to go hungry, or parents don't have to have 7 jobs to feed their children. I think it's wrong. I think something's broken. And so if Roma could be a minuscule little ripple in the ocean to make a difference, I think we owe it to the people in the communities that we're in. I think it's the right thing to do. And so here's a little video. I got a little video of a touching story, because we oftentimes hear the story, mom died and dad's left and he has 17 kids and they can't feed. But those aren't always the story. Sometimes people could just be in bad times, maybe got into bad debt, maybe just can't make ends meet. This story, I hope, touches you as it touched me.
As a mom, I want to be able to give my children the things that they need, and one of the primary responsibilities of a mom is to feed her kids, and that is hard to do on a budget. The things that are less expensive are the things that are less healthy. I want to be able to buy the produce and the dairy that's fresh and healthy. I want them to be able to have the energy that they need to run around and play. My name is Brittany. My husband is Clint. We have 2 little boys, and we love spending time together. things were really tight, and one of our neighbors mentioned the Utah Food Bank brought food to our neighborhood, and there was a whole truckload of food. I was really excited and humbled someone would be willing to donate all of that sort of thing and that we could have that. When we say that we're homeowners, people think that we have it made, that we don't struggle with money, but we do. Bills are really tight. We still have to make those choices and live on a budget. I use coupons. I do babysitting for the neighbors during the day, and I work at night. My husband has a college degree, and yet our income is still in the poverty level. Last year, we didn't turn the heat on during the winter. We had a little space heater that we used, and we all slept in the same bedroom. It's a terrible feeling as a mom, but it's a reality. Do you get the medicine? Do you get the fresh food? Do you get the pair of shoes? Or do you send them to school in November with sandals? I couldn't possibly tell you the difference it has made in our lives, that I have felt like a better mother, that I've been able to provide more for my children. The money that we were able to save on our groceries has helped us to be able to get back on our feet.
And so we created Roma Wish Day for local missions. And we created this for those exact stories. You know, at first you see a family, a mom and a dad, they look relatively healthy, all looks well, 2 little boys, could be you, it could be me. But those stories of sitting in one room and they have the space heater because they can't afford the heat, these are real. Now, for many of us who probably live in and around the area here, it's incomprehensible. But for some U.S. states, some areas of the country, even Canada, it's not as easy as we have it here. And I think local missions have been a blessing on us, but a small blessing on the people who, you know, we can otherwise touch. So our goal this year is to do 200 hours. That's our goal. And we're also blessed to be able to take time off. So to give you a day where you otherwise unselfishly serve someone you don't know in either a different state, country, province, region, I don't know what it is, but to give of yourself, because it is hard work. And I'm blessed to say that we also pay you for that day off. And it doesn't come from your vacation day. I want to give it to you paid to go make a difference. And so our local mission last year was 160 hours. And we hit our goal. I think we hit 192. 196, thank you, Anastasia. And this year, our goal is 200 hours. So here's where we are so far. So our goal is 200 hours. We actually completed 40 hours thus far, so we're 20% achieved of our goal. Now, we're halfway through the year. We did announce this at the last All Hands meeting about 4 months ago, but I got great news for you, and I'll share it in a second. But these are the people that completed missions thus far this year. So we have Ronnie, we have Jax, John Maldonado in New York, myself and Peter. Now I want you to know, if you're thinking, you know, how do I do this? How, you know, where do I go? We're going to sort that all out. But these were some of the communities we impacted. Spectrum, you know, Ronnie went to Spectrum and worked with autistic children. We have special needs schools in Gwinnett that Jack went to and helped some special needs children. The Bread of Life Foundations, where John Maldonado went, he told us that that was an incredible experience. And the Scott Mission, we prepared food, we sliced, we diced, we did whatever we had to do. And we knew that we had to take pride in cutting those vegetables and meat because someone had to ingest that. So it was really cool. These are some of the photos that we have received from some of the teams. For those of you who don't know, that's Jax on the left. Depends how you're looking. Yeah, on the left, that's him. That's Ronnie. He looks like a hugger, doesn't he? And he was working at Spectrum. That's me in one of the aisles at the food bank with Peter. That's John Maldonado here. If you don't know him, he's the far right, working with a team there in New York City. Another photo of Jax and smiles. It's Peter and I. It was a lot of fun. And I hope, you know, when you see those photos, they touch you. I hope they inspire you. And I hope that they get you out of your kind of comfort zone and do something different. We talked about risks. We talked about changing the way we're doing things. So Roma Wish Day, We have a number of people confirmed to serve. It is incredible. When I seen this slide, I was almost coming to tears with the people who have, put their hands up. Not necessarily confirmed with a date, but confirmed, yes, I want to serve in our community somewhere. You ready for this? Here you go. These are all the men. Let's give it up for all the men and women here. These are all the folks who are committed. I don't even know how many do we have here? 2, 6, 8. I don't know, close to 20 people committed to serve. And they just put their hands up via the emails that we got. So I want to tell you something. To those 20 people that put their hand up, way to go. Thank you for stepping outside of comfort, doing something really different. And doing it for someone you don't know. Amazing work. Thank you for serving. Thank you for being, just a great human being, for donating of your time. And, some might say, oh, but next Friday I got this, and then we're busy doing that, and I don't know this. We'll figure it out. So if you're on the fence of serving a community member that you don't know, if you're on the fence of making a difference, I hope both this all hands meeting inspired you to do something different within your own life. Heck, we're doing such great work at Roma. We're challenging conventional wisdoms. Who goes and buys a new ERP system in the depths of this economy that's so uncertain? Roma. Who's challenging the status quo on creating new products never seen before and risking that? Roma, all of you. And who's donating of their time within the company, where we could utilize that time and maybe make, have more efficiencies and have a better number in operations, but instead we're taking that person out of their natural comfort of either on the saw or on the phone or, touch up or, in software development. I don't know, to make a difference. So I hope this inspires you, folks. Life is a beautiful thing. And I hope I jarred something in you to take a risk somewhere in your life. Somewhere where you've been putting off. Take a risk. Maybe you want to do a new skill at Roma. Put your hand up. Speak to DC leaders. Speak to me. Speak to Anastasia. Speak to whoever you have to. We want to get you tooled up. We want you learning new skills. It makes life more fun. My wife just texted me in between the show, and she's been introspectively thinking about herself, our family, and she said, I should almost read the text. I won't, but something along the lines of, babe, we have to be more intentional, because I feel like we're putting things off, and not big things. I'm not talking about we need to buy bigger houses. I don't want a bigger house. I don't want another car. I don't want any of that, but experiences. And she said, the kids are growing. They're 8 and they're 4, and during COVID, we lost 3 years of experiences. How do we be intentional not to lose those in the next 3 years? I thought that was so beautiful, touched my heart, and I'm going to say the same thing for you. Life is beautiful, folks, and it's not forever. And so whether you're here watching in the audience or whether you're here watching in our DCs or our BPSs, our customers, our family, take life. Don't take life for granted. Get out of comfort. Outside of that comfort zone is so much joy. And when you could serve, even in Roma Wish, it'll change your life. One serve, one mission will change your life, I guarantee it. And I can't tell you how many people come to me after and say, Tony, thank you for, giving me that little nudge. Thank you. Or thanks for believing in me. I never thought I can cut elite molding. Or Tony, thank you for hiring X because she helped me do Y. I think that's what life's about, folks. That's why we're so blessed here at our company. We're blessed to have each other. And so if you're inspired on Roma Wish specifically, see Anastasia, but see anybody. Just put your hand up and we'll support you. We'll put you in teams. By the way, you don't need to do this by yourself. We'll tag team you like I did it with Peter. I've done a mission with Tanya. I've done a mission with Tanya Santana in LA and Joanne and a number of others. So this is not a solo act. Like you two can do it together if you want. We'll book the time so that, we're not with nobody, but we'll make it happen. And folks, that's what it means to be part of this company. And that's what it means to have a great company culture. A lot of people talk about a great company culture. A lot of people buy foosball tables and food and Red Bulls and all the things that really aren't meaningful. They'll give you a little blip. But it's showcases like this, and all I am is the presenter of the great work you folks do every day. So on behalf of that, I want to thank you for your hard work this year. We're already 6 months into the year. Less than 6 months to Christmas, probably 4 months to Thanksgiving. I don't know how many Thanksgivings do I have left? Not many. And I know I have about 300,000 hours left. I know that one. But folks, life is beautiful, and I want to thank you for your attention today. All hands meeting 41 is complete. Thank you very much.